Alrighty, hello everyone, my name is Michael SK and welcome to Atri, my dear moments. I think I'm a little late on this one, but regardless, this is a visual novel I've heard about for a little while, and especially recently since I think this title is getting an anime adaptation, along with a few other visual novel titles, but I've heard about this one here and there for a little bit, and again, recently. I know August Hale just did another video, or I think he did a second video on this one. Is it a second? I feel like he said that this is like another video that he did on it. Regardless, I've heard some talk, and it does look pretty cool. And it was either going to be this one or a recent release that looked bright, colorful, and whatever else that came out maybe last year. I think maybe it starts with a G. I don't even want to try and pronounce what I think it is, but that came out recently. Excuse me. And it was either going to be that or this to just kind of check out. I wasn't even planning on recording anything. It was just going to be like a, just me by myself, but you know what? Why not? Why not? Let's just check it out together. Because even if I don't do a full Let's Play, I mean, my whole shtick here is to just, do a Let's Play of a visual novel, right? Or of whatever. So here we are. I'm going in a little blind. I have some ideas as to what this is about. It does look bright and colorful in some of the imagery and CGs that you could probably see on Steam or elsewhere, but yeah, it doesn't look all cheery and happy here in this backdrop that we have. So I think we're in a little bit of a apocalyptic situation, maybe. Maybe you can argue that. Not so sure. But we'll jump in. But I just want to throw this out here. It has been a damn long time since I've loaded up a visual novel from Frontwing, I think. I think it's been a long, long time. I could be very wrong. I don't remember who put out Lamination, but going in here, it's definitely giving me some familiarity in terms of like the engine, because all titles like this in terms of their UI are pretty damn similar. So, I come from the Fruit of Grisaya and all those games, so I'm a little familiar with that setup. So it'll be nice to come back to it, of course. Maybe not really. Maybe I'm sick of it. Good. Oh, sorry. But you could probably think of it, Maybe the world does need to sink. Oh yeah, I'm definitely familiar with this UI down here. I've seen a little bit of this before, that damn square, I'm pretty sure. I don't remember what Grisaya or Phantom Trigger had specifically, but even this font I'm very familiar with. It's just been a while. God? Nah, okay, never mind. I don't think that's God. Damn. I'm 16 and that's deep. I dig this very lonely vibe that we have here. I really do. I don't know why. Is it depressing that I dig it? Or is it hopeful in some sort of way? Is this... Okay. I was going to say, is this the opening? I can't show any of that. Actually, this is like an algorithm at work here, or at least it feels like it. It doesn't feel like actual static. I am surrounded by endless darkness. Kingdom Hearts? Not a single ray of light illuminates my path as I crawl through the gloom, praying for an exit that may not even exist. But as hard as I try, I cannot move. My leg is crushed beneath a dreadful weight, completely trapped. Searing agony radiates through my body. Please, Mom, someone help. My hands scrabble around in the dirt, reaching out for anyone, anything, but they find nothing. It hurts, it hurts. Somebody save me. I awakened suddenly to the sight of my hand stretched out toward the low ceiling of my room. Grasping at nothing, I let my arm drop down by my side. Oh, Jesus. And then I feel it. My body twists and contorts, and an intense pain throbs in my right leg. Yeah, that's actually the visualization of pain right there. If you guys can't feel pain, well, now you can look at it. After a few torturous seconds, it disappears as if it was never there in the first place. I lay limply back onto the bed, trying to slow my breathing. My body is coated in a clammy layer of sweat. Damn, that's when you know you've either had the worst sleep of your life or the best nap of your life. I must have fallen asleep. I raised my head and looked down at my leg, or at least where it should be. The very same right leg that just a moment ago was pulsing with agony is as non-existent as it has been for the past 8 years. Jesus Christ, man. And yet it still hurts. The empty space where my flesh should be still torments me. There are no nerves there to send signals to my brain, but my mind still will not accept the truth. They call it phantom pain. It's started to flare up again lately. Is that a real thing, actually? Phantom pain isn't affected by regular painkillers. I mean, of course it isn't. It's an illusion, pain emanating from nerves that don't even exist. A doctor would prescribe antidepressants, but their side effects could be even worse than the pain. Not that a doctor would be able to get their hands on those these days. Oh yeah, that's right, Apocalypse. I simply have to live in constant dread of the next attack. Well, that's fun. That's an overall good time. The gentle sunlight leaking through the portholes stabs at my eyes. It must be morning. No point lying around here, I suppose. Hey, yo, who's this? I hear a sudden, satisfying crunch from somewhere across the room.
起きた？うなされてたわよ。
I look over to find a young woman chopping pieces off of an apple with a penknife.
いつも人相が悪いけど、寝起きだと一層ひどいわね。気の弱い子供なら睨まれただけで泣いちゃいそう。
Where did I set the volume at for voices? I feel like it might be too low. Actually, I think that just might be the character. Yeah, actually, I didn't mess with any of this over here. Like, those are kind of, preset. I think this character was slightly louder than I ever wanted her to be, so I'll put her at 75. Yeah, see, that works. That works, and then we can just move this up to 80. And then everybody is just slightly louder. It's hard to get these right. I do this with every Let's Play of a visual novel that I'm starting, and even in a video game, I have to get the volumes just right, and I never do. Really nice to hear that from a woman who sneaks into someone else's room and steals their breakfast. Lifting myself up from the sweat-streaked sheets, I sit on the edge of my bed and reach for my prosthetic leg. At least we have one of those. Naturally, a prosthetic leg is supposed to be built to fit an individual's body. But this one wasn't made specifically for me. It's an old second-hand model. Not just ill-fitting, but on the verge of breaking too. It's better than nothing, though. These days, it's possible to get cybernetic legs that can be controlled by nerve signals, or even full cybernetic implants. Unfortunately, those are far, far out of my price range right now. I place my stump into the socket and tighten the straps around it. When I try moving the joint, it lets out an ominous creak. I fiddle with its screws and give it a little oil. The radio I had switched on before I laid down is still blaring. I go through the motions of keeping my decrepit old leg working while half listening to the drone of the announcer's voice. Well, they will.
だといいけど、花火を打ち上げるゆとりがあるなら、あたしら庶民の暮らしをどうにかしなさいよってね。
Hey, happiness above all else, right? They've got the bigger picture in mind. If they don't work to assure we've got a future, what's the point in fixing whatever bullshit the common person's got going on? There's no point trying to get philosophical with you, I know. Yeah, if a person has like a strict stance on their shit, then it's like, alright, good luck. Something else I want to change, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I need to lower the text speed. This shit is way too fast in my opinion, and it's like bothering me. I push my foot down, getting a feel for the leg. The joint's moving a little more smoothly now.
いい天気ね。絶好の潜水日和だわ。早速始める?
Damn, this person just quietly speaks. Like, there's no fixing that. At least let me have breakfast first. It's only when I finish my sentence that I remember that my apple is already gone. Long gone.
Konnichiwa!
Another female voice calls out, this time from off my ship. Damn, we're just coming across all the characters. This is a very ugly scene, and so is that.
Natsuku!
Yeah, next time let's not zoom in on our backdrops.
寝てるのかな? 呼び鈴つけてくんないかな? はーい。あ、夏く!
Nope.
誰? あんたこそ誰よ? 夏くんのお友達の上白みなもです。あいつ友達なんかいたんだ。
Damn, we got the loner protagonist in this story. Sorry, guys.
お姉さんは一体。私? ね。
I don't think that's the truth.
愛人?
Though she does look like wife material in a way. I don't know, just something is screaming at me, you know? Don't listen to her. She's just your average apple-pinching intruder.
つまり、どういう関係なの?
Yeah, I'd like to know too.
ただのビジネスパートナーよ。
Why are you here, Minamo?
夏くん、学校行こう?
Oh, we have school in the apocalypse?
転校してきてから一度も登校してないよね。
Before I can say anything, Catherine has already opened her big mouth.
坊やはね、働かなきゃいけないの。一攫千金のために。ガキンチョは買えんな。
Minamo flinches and almost tears up as a slight glare is flashed her way. If you're not doing anything else, you could help us out. An extra pair of hands would be useful.
暇じゃないよ。
Yeah, you know,
学校行かなきゃだから。
something tells me school isn't as important as it would have been if the world wasn't, you know, sinking or whatever the fuck is going on. What's the point in that? School makes you dumb. Okay, well, never mind about my dumbass argument.
賢くなるために行くんでしょ?
That didn't work.
待ってよ、夏くん。ねえ、夏くん。
Yeah, that was a bad time for me to, you know, open my mouth personally. Damn, I might need to lower the sound effects. The ocean loud. And so are the stock sound effects of birds. The ship rumbles its way away from the pier and stops a little distance from the shore. This seems like the place. Ah, yes, water. Deep in the translucent waters, I can see the shadow of something man-made.
ついてきちゃった。
Yeah, wait, I'm surprised she's even here.
学校あるのに。
Minamo grumbles to herself as she stares out at the endless expanse of blue. I climb down from the deck toward the other vessel the ship is towing. I open the hatch on the large egg-like craft bobbing up and down in the waves. Minamo, when I close the hatch, disengage the clamps. You know how to do that, right?
わかんない。
Damn, what is school even teaching you?
私が教えてやんよ。来てみ。
I'll need you to operate the crane too. If you've got any questions, ask Catherine.
その子、大丈夫なの? よく見るとサビサビだけど。
Only one way to find out. I'm not going to be diving too deep. A little bit of leakage isn't anything to worry about.
いや、ダメでしょ。沈んじゃうよ。
Luckily with the power of... Well, I was going to say buoyancy, but no, I don't think that's going to work here. Buoyancy is the other way around. Right, here goes. I duck down inside the sub and close the hatch behind me. Now, you can have, like, a little water in something, and you can still, like, have some control. I mean, as long as you have something that's actually able to move around, or move you around, you know, like a... I don't know how any of this works, so I'm just gonna shut the fuck up, you know? Who knows what I'm saying? I don't know science. I take my seat at the controls and pump the choke lever until I hear the engine splutter into life. Oh yeah. Yeah, there we go. See, everything that moves has an engine. There we go, that's all I need to know. I tap all the gauges to check that they're working and signal to Minamo out of the small window in the top of the sub. Okay, disengage the clamps. Minamo flaps her arms back at me with a troubled expression. Sorry, I cannot hear a word you're saying. I can't hear her through the glass, and her arm movements don't communicate anything except possibly frightened goose. Better signal to Catherine instead. Grinning like a demon, plunging a sinner into the depths of hell, she disengages the lock. Yeah, I really need to lower the sound effect volume. Jesus Christ. I feel the sub sway as it floats freely in the water. I call out through the radio. Okay, lower the crane.
Aya!
I tug on the control stick and the sub's manipulator arms grasp the crane's hook. I attach it to the eyelet on the top of the egg. Venting the ballast tanks. Yeah, we really do be using vocabulary that's completely out of my range, but the sea around the sub ripples with bubbles as the tanks empty out their air and replace it with water. The rotund little ship starts to gradually submerge as it grows heavy with ballast. Okay, here's the technology. Here's the shit I don't know. The color outside the... Actually, you know what? Maybe I was right. Maybe it is buoyancy. The color outside the window darkens from the baby blue of the sky to the deep aqua of the sea. The submarine, Serpens albus, slowly sinks into the water, glistening in the morning sun. Under the sea we go. Nice. Now these are good visuals right here. You know, simple shit. Yeah, let me adjust the, we're gonna make so many sound adjustments. It's fucking ridiculous. I'll move it down to like 30, because that shit loud. Unless there's like another volume here. I'll leave the master volume alone and just tinker with everything else, but I think we're okay here. I'm also going to turn on the voice cut, because if I cut somebody off, I mean it. The little ship slowly and silently drifts through the sea. It sinks deeper and deeper. Before long, the rusty joints of its hull start to creak under the pressure. You're already hurting at this depth. This might be a problem after all. Minamo's doubts seem to be contagious. It happens. The Serpens albus is a pretty old ship. It's supposed to be capable of going a few hundred meters down, but I can't help but feel that if I tried going that deep now, I would end up the size of a basketball. Thankfully, I'm not heading down anywhere that deep. It'll be a couple of dozen meters at most. Yeah, we don't want to end up like that submarine that, you guys know the story I'm talking about from a year or two ago. Was it a year ago? I don't remember anymore. The light outside grows dimmer, and soon all that I can see beyond the window is a dark navy. I cruise through the lonely waters toward the treasure I seek. I came to this town because I had nothing left. I had lost everything. I lived here once as a child, left in the care of my grandmother. But when I returned after 8 years, the scenery was unrecognizable. The beautiful coastal town I remembered was gone. There it is. What are we looking for? Is it the town? It is. Oh no. Oh no indeed. Jesus Christ, the world is sinking. Sunken beneath the waves, buried here at the bottom of the ocean is a town that just a few years ago was teeming with people. That's terrifying, actually. I don't know why it's terrifying, but it is just terrifying, you know? Like, that's a lot of water to just completely take out anything like this. That's so much. That's a lot. The side of the building shimmering in the sunlight, piercing the water is uncanny. It's like time has stopped. This town was not the only one to be enveloped by the sea. when the waters around the world suddenly began to rise, entire cities were plunged into this limbo. No one knows why. Scientists posted that it might be climate change or some kind of movement in the Earth's crust, but no one can say for sure. All we really know is that sea levels suddenly began to rise inexorably, swallowing up more and more land. The mysterious phenomenon brought humanity to its knees, almost entirely destroying our civilization. They say that we have entered the twilight of our species, and it's hard to disagree. The population had already started to drop before I was born, and by the time I became aware of the world, it was already doomed. You know, this is completely off topic, but when there's like a zombie apocalypse, so the world is ending, and it's very, very apparent that it's just hard for you to live like in this world, and as well as those around you, like what compels people to just, you know, fuck another person and, you know, have a kid, you know? Like, just, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why would you, you know, put that pain onto other people that aren't even like born yet? Even though I lived through the terror of the Great Sea Rise, I don't really have any conception of the supposed times of plenty that adults talk about. I guess whenever he was born, you know, he still had this town. So I guess, you know, it wasn't the end of the world yet. So I'll give his parents, you know, some credit, I suppose, but I guess it got worse. So it was already happening before he was born, and then it got significantly worse. Is that what we have going on here? They're always droning on about the past and other bullshit, but this is the only world I've ever known. Something inside me makes me want to blame the state of this planet on them. As I sit there lost in my thoughts, a transmission comes through my radio. Terrible, this shit's depressing. Great, I'll be arriving at the target soon. After a moment's lag, the reply comes. The lag's a necessary annoyance, given the radio waves don't pass through water too easily. All of our communications are converted into high-frequency sound waves, which travel slower. If you want to get out of here so much, why not find some other job? You don't want to die a debt collector, do you? Just as I'm about to get back to work, another voice comes over the radio. We're alive. What's wrong? You sound like you're about to burst into tears. I mean, there might be some water leaking in, but it's whatever. It's fine. A little bit creaky. But nothing worth worrying about. Excuse me. It looks pretty nice down here. I should show you sometime. This kind of scenery could take someone's breath away, that's for sure. I'm telling you, it's fine. This thing might be old, but that means it's tough and simple too. That's not really the big concern here, but oh yeah, that. I guess it is a little bit of a concern for her, huh? I sigh. You really are a good girl, aren't you? Giggling with a strangely elated tone, she ends the transmission. What the hell was that? That completely broke my concentration. My grandmother was an ocean geologist. She left me a lot in her will. Although her home was flooded, her boat and the submarine that she used for fieldwork were not taken by the waters. She was obsessed with her research and despised children, goddamn. You know what? Huge respect. Before she died, she poured a significant amount of her savings into something that she locked up in her storehouse. And that's what I'm here to salvage. Okay. There it is, her house. For a short time, I suppose it was mine too. That I wonder about. Uh-oh. We just going deeper? I grasp the controls and steer the sub into the back garden. There, just as I remember, is the storehouse. It's quite big, almost out of keeping with the size of the actual house. My grandmother never let me get close to it. Perhaps she was keeping materials related to her research in there. Now, however, it's the only place I'm interested in. Getting in might be difficult though. The storehouse's heavy iron doors look to be locked tight. We're gonna have to break the doors down. When I give you the signal, wind the winch. Wind the winch, not wind. I reach the manipulator arm up to undo the crane's hook and attach it to the bar holding the two doors solidly closed. Okay, pull. You know, with delay and all. The cable winds back swiftly and snaps taut, but the doors don't move an inch. Huh, no dice. I don't like that effect. Just as I'm about to give the signal to stop, a clang and the sound of creaking metal echo through the water. The door collapses, sending up a billowing cloud of sediment. The resulting opening is large enough for the Serpens albus to fit straight through. Well, it looks like that'll do. Yeah, I don't even know what the fuck happened. If I hadn't been able to get these doors open, I would have to break through the roof, and that could have damaged whatever's inside. It's been 10 years. Finally time to see what's in here. I orient the sub towards the door and slowly start to push forward. Let's do this shit. What do we got in here? The inside of the storehouse is in far better condition than the outside. The walls are lined with bookshelves full of research materials and measurement boys? Goddamn, I can never pronounce this word now that I'm thinking about it. Is it buyo? Yeah, I can't do it. For some reason, I'm trying to like throw another vowel in there. But data collection equipment that are scattered all over the floor. Yeah, if you guys are new to the channel, by the way, I'm terrible with pronouncing things, just straight up. English is my native language, and I just suck. As a kid, this place would have made the perfect playground. I can picture my grandmother thinking about all the fun children could, you know, get up to in here and scowling as she locked the doors. Probably a wise decision, to be fair. I shine the sub's lights across the room, searching out my target. The fact that I don't actually know what I'm looking for makes that easier said than done, however. It's supposed to be something valuable, but to my untrained eyes, all of the devices in here look like they cost a pretty penny. Crabs and fish skitter around the assorted detritus? Yeah, fleeing into the torch beams. Yeah, whoever did the translating here, they did one heck of a job or something. They used the big boy ocean type scientific vocabulary. I notice an odd object as I sweep the lights around. That or I'm really fucking stupid, but what's that? Oh shit, what do we got here? Ooh, it's a large oblong box. Down here in the murky gloom, it almost looks like a sunken sarcophagus. I mean, that's probably what this is, actually. Again, I don't know too much about what's going on here. I'm going in pretty blind, but I kind of have an idea of what's popping up here. Slowing down my engine so that my screw drives don't kick up too much sediment, I cautiously approach. Oh boy. It really does seem to be some kind of casket. We're about to see true anime technology here. It's the perfect size for a single person. Part of the surface seems to be glass. I peer through the gloom. A mannequin? No, a girl? Inside the capsule is a young girl as delicate and fragile looking as an antique doll. Strangely, I don't feel even an inkling of fear or discomfort. I would. Jesus Christ, that'd be scaring the shit out of me. Maybe it's because this seems so unreal, or perhaps it's just how adorable she looks. Whatever the case, I have no idea what she really is. There's only one thing I'm sure about. This has to be what I'm here for. What even is this? It looks like it has electricity, but that's all I can really tell from looking at it. I'm gonna have to raise the whole thing. I'm not gonna be able to manage that with just the manipulator arm. I'll have to rely on the crane. I steer the sub back out of the building and pull the wire out from the remains of the door. Dragging it along behind me, I make my way back to the casket. Oh yeah, that sounds healthy. As I approach it, my hand slips from the control stick and the sub nudges the case. It's not a hard hit, but for a moment a chill runs down my spine. I haven't broken it, have I? It doesn't seem like the glass is cracked. Oh, but she's awake. She's fucking awake, bro. If I was in that submarine all alone in the depths of water and shit, and some anime woman just woke up like that, no, I'm out. But the eyes of the girl in the casket have opened. Our gaze meets through the glass. She's alive. I know my voice can't be reaching her, but she tilts her head slightly as if in response. Suddenly, like a bolt of lightning, a name pops into my mind. I had heard it once in the hospital, at my grandmother's bedside. Oh shit, what the fuck? Alright, that's coincidental. Atri? The girl watches the movement of my lips carefully. And she smiles. She really is alive. But what is she? Yeah, she isn't any ordinary anime schoolgirl, that's for sure. As I sit wondering what to do next, the girl starts to move. She begins to tap away at some panels inside her capsule. Damn technology, you scary. The glass of the case opens. A great cloud of bubbles billows out of the casket and inundated with water. What are you doing? It seems like she didn't realize that she was underwater. As much as she panics and tries to hammer the controls, there's no closing the glass now. I've got to save her. At that moment, a shadow looms over me. The sudden rush of air from the casket buffets the ceiling of the building, the already water-damaged framework seemingly rattled by my destruction of the doors. Oh, lovely. The walls start to cave in, and the concrete ceiling cracks. No! I instinctively push the control stick forward. Are we just gonna grab onto her? The Serpens albus moans in agony as steel beams collapse on top of it. Thankfully, I've managed to cover the girl from harm. But we're not out of the woods yet. This is bad. Am I trapped? Probably. I try to put my engine into reverse, but the sub is pinned down under the ceiling. And now we're having that happen again. Lovely. My mind is instantly filled with intense, gruesome memories. I'm buried alive just like before. My body is quickly coated in an ice-cold sweat, and pain throbs through the spot where my legs should be. Yep, this is happening. As the weight above me seems to bear down on my very soul, my eyes meet the girl's. Can she breathe underwater? She stares at me with a strange look, as if she doesn't realize the danger that she's in. I've got to save her. Grasping the controls, I try to find the hook of the crane to affix it to the sub, but it's nowhere to be found. Did it come off in the impact? I tried to peer around the floor, but my manipulator arms couldn't reach down there even if I did see it, and the sub can't move an inch. What do I do? Pain and panic surges through my brain, and I feel my consciousness grow distant, excuse me. Yeah, she's gonna help out. Just as I'm about to black out, I see the girl jump from the casket. She reaches down and lifts up a glimmering silver object, the hook. Please give that to me. She tilts her head to the side and stares. She places the hook in the fingers of my manipulator. I quickly attach it to the sub's frame. Hey, can you hear me up there?
Nani?
Wind in the winch, quick.
なんて聞こえない。どうしたの、ナツくん。何かあった？
Yeah, actually, something is wrong. Wind in the winch now.
おいおい、そんなことしたら。
If they don't do it this instant, I'm going to end up completely crushed.
わかった。ってこらバカ娘。
Yeah, we're gonna break something, aren't we? I grab the girl from the casket in the manipulator arm. Why does she look like that? She looks so fucking derpy for some reason. Like, don't get me wrong, I guess it's a cute expression, but it's like, it looks weird. She stares impassively at me through the window, unfazed by the metal gripper around her waist. Isn't she scared? If anything, she looks particularly relaxed. Why isn't she struggling for breath by now? Oh, we'll find out eventually. I'm thrown from my seat from the sudden acceleration as the winch pulls taut, the sub creaking painfully as the ceiling pinning it down scrapes against it.
あんたが無茶するから転覆するかと
Oh
思った
yeah,
わ。
I guess that could also happen.
戻ってきた。やけに急いでるわね。こいつはお宝を見つけたわね。
Yeah, something along those lines. We're back, baby. When the hull breaks the water, I fling open the hatch. Crawling out, I head toward the ship's fore.
危ないよ、ナツくん。何してるの？落っこちるわよ。あんたその足じゃ泳げないでしょ。
If I don't hurry, the girl's going to die.
あの子？
Oh, well, we got her with us. Minamo suddenly notices the body held between the manipulator's claws.
誰？
Good question. The girl is floating face down, unmoving, her body limp. I crawl towards her and thrust out my hand. Grab hold, quickly. She doesn't move. Maybe she's unconscious. I push myself off of the sub's hull, trying to make my way over to her. But as my foot drives against the rusty metal, I feel it shudder beneath me. What? Oh, goodbye, world. Hello, water. My leg catches against the framework, my prosthetic leg, which tears away from my body. I fall into the water and sink beneath the surface. Stunned, I gaze up at the soft morning light glimmering through the azure. It's beautiful. I'm about to die, but damn, that shit's beautiful. Perhaps it's because I instantly realize the hopelessness of my plight, but I'm surprisingly calm. My clothes are heavy with water. My one leg doesn't even attempt to keep me afloat. Opening myself to the soft embrace of the cool, radiant light, I let myself be taken by the depths. So this is how I die. At least I'm going to die somewhere beautiful. Honestly, I would fucking hate to die drowning. That is probably the most fearful thing, is just trying to, like, stay afloat. You know, I think there was maybe, like, a game about this. But you're trying to stay afloat. You're trying not to, like, lose too much energy, because eventually you will. And you're just trying to, you know, not be below in the water. But eventually you will sink. You won't have the air. That water is gonna fucking crush you from the inside. It's gonna suck. I'd rather my last breath fill my lungs with water than darkness. As I gaze and wonder at the shimmering light, like a million jewels enveloping my body, a shadow starts to form within them. It grows and grows, blocking all that beauty from my view. Stop it. Don't take the light away. The darkness scares me. Now we're being saved. This is the new... Oh shit, goddamn, alright. Woo! Yeehaw there. Like, I get it, she's giving him air, but like... Damn, that shit's hot. The shadow bears down on me and I feel a strange sensation against my lips. I see clearly now. The shadow is the girl. What is she doing? She's sinking with me, pushing air into my mouth from her own. As I feel her gift of oxygen fill my lungs, a terrible thought begins to float through my mind. I don't want to die. Crazy. The jump from acceptance of death into, you know, no, wait a minute, hold on now. That's crazy. I came to this town because I had lost everything. I thought I had no reason to live anymore, and yet I do not want to die. What a selfish, greedy creature a human can be to want to live on without reason. But now there's no way back. I'm sorry I dragged you into this. If she hadn't tried to save me, she could have lived on. But even with her breath sustaining me, my one remaining leg can do nothing to keep us from falling into the darkness. I completely understand what you're saying. A plume of bubbles erupts from her mouth as she tries to say something. Not wishing to waste more air, she quickly presses her mouth back to mine and points upward. Huh? Through the shining water comes a shape. A thin, long line connecting us to the light. A rope. I grasp hold of it and wrap my other arm around the girl. This is some crazy shit. Nice little effect there. I dig the transition. I collapse on the ship's deck, basking in the sheer joy of breathing freely once more. Yeah, you almost witnessed us die. That was about to be death. Right in front of your eyes. Thanks for the help, Minamo. Okay, well, at least you've got priorities, I suppose. She holds up the rope with a grin. I don't have the energy to snap at her like I normally would. For once, I'm grateful for her debt collector instincts. That is the million-dollar question, isn't it? She's sitting next to me, soaking wet, seemingly unfazed. She's still holding the sleeve of my shirt in her hand. Her grip is firm, as if she's trying to stop me jumping into the sea again. Thank you. Well, there we go, she can speak. What a strange phrasing. I found her down there. She was sleeping in my grandmother's storehouse. Yeah, crazy stuff. Just crazy stuff, man. Just crazy. I think she might be a robot. She's not human. She's just a robot in the shape of a human. Now this is technology. Humanoids, robots intended to resemble humans as much as possible. Also marketed as androids or gynoids. Gynoids? Is that how you say that? Depending on the manufacturer. Humanoids were produced en masse when humanity's technological progress was at its peak, and their construction was so advanced that they were indistinguishable from humans. They don't need to breathe, and their vocal systems are intended to replicate the human voice box. Naturally, that means they need a pair of lungs or at least something resembling them to hold air. I owe my life to that particular design quirk. Yeah, as weird as all that is, that really worked out for us. Oh, don't worry, morals don't really exist in the end times. Minamo looks back and forth between Catherine and the robot girl. Somehow I don't think she'd have the same kind of reaction if she was looking at any other piece of industrial machinery. But to the untrained eye, this girl just looks like a human being. Your master died a month ago. This town sunk into the rising seas 3 years ago. You've been asleep down there for all that time. The robot counts to 3 on her fingers. A look of realization dawns on her face. Guys, I don't think R.I.P. was what's in the original translation there. Or maybe it was. I don't know. It'd be cool if it was.
ロボットなんだから、これでも感情表現豊かな方でしょ。でも安心して、ばあさんの遺産はこいつが相続した。つまり、今のマスターはこの坊や。
The robot girl turns to me and peers closely at my face. That means we've got the choice. we can sell off this, fine piece of technology here and make a quick buck. Or we can be friends with it. Yeah, I suppose I'm your master now.
さっき海の中で出会った時からそんな気がしていました。やっぱりそうだったんですね。
She speaks with a strange air of conviction. She tugs on my sleeve again. She looks like a kid who's just found her dad. I wonder if a sufficiently advanced robot without a master experiences the same fears as a lost child would.
なんとお呼びしましょう。
I'd probably argue
ご
no.
希望があればどうぞ。例えばお兄ちゃんとか、
Oh no.
パパとか、兄様とか、兄ちゃまとか。
Just call me Natsuki. I abruptly cut her off before she says something I really don't want to have in my head. Wait, how do we say our name? Ikaruga? That sounds awful, but Natsuki, that's my name.
夏希。
Sorry guys, I can't roll my R's. That just sounds terrible. And what do I call you?
型番ですか？
She reaches behind her head to lift up her hair. Her serial number must be on the back of her neck. Now I'm asking if you have a name. I wouldn't be surprised if that old hag, or old bag, never gave her one. Honestly, either or.
アトリです。マスターが名付けてくれました。
Oh, wait, you're fucking stupid, dude. You're the one who actually said her name whenever we were down there. Atri, that's a nice name. The words slip out of my mouth without thinking.
でしょ？固有名が与えられるのは物であるロボットが命あるものとして承認された証ですからね。いわゆる一つのステータスってやつです。
Robots think of names in that way. I'd never considered that before.
夏希もなかなかいい名前だと思いますよ。
The fuck is the I suppose part? Are you patronizing me?
こういう目線ですが？
What? You don't know a piece of language? Where's the lack of intelligence? Whatever. She looks up at me with a blank expression. It's probably my imagination, but there seems to be a glint of mischief in her young, delicate eyes. Then again, maybe it's just a reflection of the midday sun. Either or, I think back to the lights that I saw underwater. After staring at me for a while, Atri suddenly smiles. It's a smile so soft and gentle that I have the sudden wish to capture this moment in amber for eternity.
よろしくお願いしますね、夏希さん。
Let's sell the fun robot. I think that's a great idea. Was that our prologue? What do we got going on here? Are we just switching scenes? Are we switching chapters or whatever? Oh, nope. Oh, well, nope, we have the past. Haha, lovely. I remember the first thing my grandmother said to me when I walked into her hospital room, propped up by a walking stick, dragging my ill-fitting prosthetic leg. Oh, thanks. That's all. If I hadn't sold my cybernetic leg, I wouldn't have been able to pay my tuition fees.
挙句逃げ帰ってきたんだろ。誰に寝ちまったのかね。
I didn't expect those words to hit me hard, but they did. To hear this selfish woman say that something was her fault came straight out of the blue.
でもま、帰ってきてくれてよかったよ。海に飲み込まれて何もかんも失っちまったけれど。でもまだ終わっちゃいないんだ。アトリを引き上げておくれ。あの子をあそこへ連れて行けば。 計画は再び動き出す。
That is very straightforward of like a task here. Atri.
出来の悪い家政婦みたいなもんだよ。
Okay, well that's vague. I was surprised to hear someone as cantankerous as her would employ a maid. I really don't know what you want me to do, but I can tell it's not something I can manage. I am a mess after all.
足くらいなんだってんだ。あんたはまだ負けちゃいない。地球を救うんだろ。 あの島はまだ海を漂っているはずだ。探しておくれ、夏希。
Very curious. Very curious indeed. All right, I think we'll wrap it up there. I think that makes for a good first episode here. I'll be your leg. and my axe. But yeah, you know, just this is different. I'm not fully hooked yet, I have to admit. I will say, you know, pretty cool how we came across her, but, you know, I was under the impression that yes, she's a robot from the get-go, and I knew of his, you know, leg situation. I don't really know the specifics and whatever else happened in his life, but, you know, this was a very understanding, you know, meeting here, I suppose. Wasn't anything too overly crazy and surprising or anything like that. But I do wonder, where is all this going to go, you know? So we have this guy that's trying to carry on research and the goals of his grandmother, supposedly to save the world, but can that really be done? I do see here in the background, they must be near like what was a mountain or a hill or something like that. They must be at a high elevation. This is probably where they're at. So, you know, just, you know, what has happened to the world? I'm sure there's a little bit more world building to do, which is something I'm very interested in. I'd like to see where else this goes. So I may record a little bit more. I don't know if this is full Let's Play material yet, but let me know what you guys think, you know? If you guys have gone through Atri, or this is your first time even seeing it, I do know that the Steam Summer Sale is going on at this time, though, yeah, even when this uploads, I think it'll still be going on. So, you know, pick it up if you want, or don't, or wait for another sale or whatever, but this definitely looks to be one of those, like, you know, must reads, especially if you're new to the visual novel world, I believe. But that'll do it for me on this one. We'll see if I record more. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, subscribe. Again, comment below if you'd like to see more, or if you know, just have anything to say on this very specific title, and I will see you guys in another video. Take it easy, guys.